Welcome back to Cure for the Common Game. Today, in deck number 854, we're going to talk about Runo Stromkirk. Now, for 3 mana, we get a 1/4 flyer. This is one of those cards you have to go through one side to get to the other side. What we want is the other side. Enters the battlefield, put up to 1 target creature card from your graveyard on top of your library. Sure. At the beginning of your upkeep, look at the top card of your library. You may reveal that card. If a creature card with mana value 6 or more is revealed this way, transform Runo. So let's see what's on the other side. These are not very friendly to our style of filming. So it's a 3/5 Kraken Horror with flying. When Krothus attacks, create a tapped and attacking token that's a copy of another attacking creature. If it was a Kraken, Leviathan, Octopus, or Serpent, create 2 of those instead. Now, this is a Things of the Deep style deck, but I wanted to focus on Krakens, and Krakens solely. I do have 2 Leviathans in the deck, but because they're kind of too good to do without, and there's that 1 Serpent thing that I don't have that's really good. Anyway, so these are all very expensive mana cost cards, so we have got to get our ramp on. Before I get into that, it is a ton of artifacts. But before we get into that, the ultimate ramp is Show and Tell. Thank you, Danny. This is one heck of a Magic card you've donated to the cause. The reason why Show and Tell's in there is because for the ultimate ramp in the world, Omniscience. If we can, what better deck to have it in than your creatures cost 6 and 7, right? So, anyway, we have got, that leads us into our mana rocks, of which there are plenty. I'm just going to plow through these pretty quick. We have a Soul Ring, Thought Vessel, and no max hand size helps. The Dimir Cluestone, Everflowing Chalice. I tend to think of this as a 4-drop. If more, hey, that's great. If not, Spectral Searchlight, Charcoal Diamond, Dimir Signet, Key Rune, Sisay's Ring, Prismatic Lens, Dimir Locket, Sky Diamond. Cold Steel Heart is a snow permanent. That matters for one of our Krakens. Commander Sphere, Dreamstone Hedron, because, even if you don't need it, you can sack it for 3 cards, right? And then the Kefnit's Monument. All but one of our Krakens are blue. Card draw. And I know Planar Bridge is not card draw. It's not card advantage. But it kind of is. What led me to Planar Bridge was that with that much mana ramp, I don't think the 6 to cast or the 8 to use will be hard to get. And it's also another way we can go get our Omniscience if we don't Diabolic Tutor or Final Parting it, because we really, really want that. But just straight card draw, we have Sign and Blood, Concentrate, Tidings, just mana for cards. Greed, life for cards. It's funny, I used to think Greed was not that good. Because, Necropotence was better, but, Necropotence is better than everything. But, I pay 4 life all the time on Sylvan Library, so paying 2 life and a mana is not, But then Soothsaying, because here again, Soothsaying does a couple of different things. It allows us to shuffle if we want, but you can super top, and that's what we need to flip our commander to the side where we want it to. Now, before we get into the Krakens, here is our non-Krakens. Stormy is just, it's just too good. And then Slinvoda, obviously we're going to kick it to wipe the board. Now, I do have a clone, which I'm calling a Kraken, because that's probably what it's going to be. But one card that I have a lot of respect for. I have played it here in the past couple of months, more than I ever have. But Reflections of Lit Jar earns its keep. It does. In every time I have cast it, it has earned its keep. Because typically you're doing it in a, quote unquote tribal deck. But yeah, it's a good card. Our only mono black zombie Kraken. Yeah, I mean, I almost didn't put it in because it does cost 5 and not the 6, but it's tribal Kraken. So our only multicolor one was Rexall, the Risen Deep, not the drugstore, which is a great card anyway. Scourge of the Fleets. Number of islands you control, which if you've got the other one is really good. Shipbreaker Kraken. I mean, you can make this a 10/10. It's just big, dumb things of the sea. When you draw a card, you can pay 1 to tap or untap a creature. Okay. Brinelin. That deck was fun. Kraken out the Dire Straits. Deep Sea Kraken. I like this. It costs 10, or does it? An opponent plays a spell. I think you just always suspend this one. Because if you pay the 10, it's going to be sick. If you suspend this thing, best case scenario, you're suspending it on turn 3, right? Or maybe you got lucky with the Soul Ring, you do it on 2. But you suspend it, and whenever an opponent plays a spell, this is a card that got way better with the multiplayer nature of our format, because we have 3 opponents playing spells. We're going to get this 6/6 unblockable. Tromokratis. Can't block it unless everything blocks it. If they've got 1-tap creature, they can't block it. Idleback Spawn. 20 or fewer cards in it. That's probably not going to happen, but it is a 4/8 Shroud. Trench Behemoth. Shoal Kraken. I know it's not a Kraken, but Kiora Best of Sea God does make an 8/8 Kraken, so I put it in there. The Kraken Hatchling, just for the giggles, because, it is a Kraken. The Icebreaker Kraken. Each snow land makes it cheaper. I have all of the blue and black snow lands that I own are in the deck, and it's not even all of them. I need way more snow-covered lands. But it does really cool things. And then we have the Nadir Kraken. Draw a card, pay 1, a counter on it, and get a tentacle. This thing can get silly. I have a Raised Dead. I cannot explain to you why I have a Raised Dead. Yeah, I can't do it. I don't. There's literally 1,000 Magic cards that are better than this. Probably more than that. Maybe I have this as a placeholder for that really good Serpent guy that says your things of the deep can't be blocked except by other things. I don't know. Your guess is as good as mine, folks. Anyway, to our removal. Blue-black, which we have several different kinds of removal. Of course, blues, which we have our counter magic. Memory Lapse, Negate, Mana Leak. Just our Kill That Thing. Doomblade, Terror, Murder, Cast Down, and Feed the Swarm. How about Bounce That Thing? Whelming Wave, of course, is the all-star of the deck, because it doesn't affect us. Wash Out, hoses one color. It's probably not going to be blue. Might be black, but Hibernation. Return all green permanents to the owner's hands. Yeah, I know it's, to single out a color like that, but green's just so good. Dead of Winter. X number of snow permanents you control, so that's the thing. Necromantic Selection. Destroy them all, and then get one back. And that brings us to our non-basic lands. Of course, that Rogue's Passage is in there, because we have large creatures. Secluded Glen, Ivory Tower, Ice Tunnel is that snow duel, Dimir Guildgate, Submerged Boneyard, Evolving Wilds, Terramorphic Expanse, Dreadship Reef, Shimmerdrift Vale, Thriving Isle, Dismal Backwater, Jwaral Refuge, Command Tower, Dimir Aqueduct, and lastly, the Coral Atoll. I felt that had to be in there flavor-wise. I love this art, too. It has the ship in the distance. Oh, I love it. Anyway, that is Runo Stromkirk, the Kraken Tribal. Of course, as usual, every tribal deck would be better with a Chronos Memorial, Coat of Arms, and Eldrazi Monument. I mean, just every single tribal deck would. And they're all colorless artifacts, so they can fit in any single tribe. So, anyway, 854 is done. I guess you could tell that I have recorded several of these in the same day. I'm on a roll this morning, so I'm going to keep going as much as I can. It's not like I can get outside and do anything right now. It's kind of a mess out there. It's spitting rain and sleet and snow right now, which is, I mean, it ain't a much. It ain't going to amount to anything. It'll be gone by tomorrow. But this Tennessee, we'll shut down for that. Of course, I don't really get out much anyway. I'm right here with y'all, either building decks, listing decks, talking about decks. But anyway, I appreciate y'all watching. Thank you so much. If you've watched this far and haven't subscribed, go right down there and subscribe. Thank you so much. But we're going to go ahead and shuffle and cut.